Welcome back to this channel. Let's see you standing there. Hey, you say, Papa Bear, you getting ready to go swimming? Not exactly. Today I'm doing some repairs. Welcome back to GNC Family Farms. I'm Papa Bear. How y'all doing on this beautiful August the 7th? As we say around here, what happens on the farm stays on the farm. But now today we're going to open up the doors and let it all hang out. Well, it's midweek. Today, as you see, I am a little busy doing some things that I need to be done. I'm not getting ready to go swimming, but I'm doing some repairs. I have a total of 3 inner tubes that have a leak in it. I'm trying to figure out where the leaks are at. Well, that's a whole different challenging thing here, especially when this one is filthy. Best way to check to see if you got an air leak is pour some good soapy water over it. And some of this I'm wasting because I have to get some of the dirt off of here so I can see if there's any air leaks. Now this tube here is a older tube that was here when moved here. These pans here are mushrooms. You get mushrooms from the store, don't throw them pans away. Save them. We'll come back to this. Oh, I think I found the leak. Maybe not. Well, we'll come back to that. So it's August the 7th. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you enjoyed Sunday's inspirational video. It was I know it's a little long video. That's why I kind of made sure that I did a midweek. That way it's not so long on Sunday's videos. That way I don't have to do all the catch up on Sunday. Instead we'll do little part 1 and then, well, you know, that way Sunday's just basically the inspirational part of it. This is my do list, not a honey-do list, because Papa Bear don't have a honey-do list. Papa Bear has his own list, because he's the one is in control of everything that happens here on the farm. I'm the house manager, I'm the barn manager, I'm the animal manager. Well, I'm just all around the boss of the farm. What I say goes. Okay, a little bit Paisley girl how to say. And a lot of times even little Carmen says she has to say. But yeah, yesterday was a busy day here on the farm. I did all the animal enclosures, rabbits, chickens, goats, the dog house, pressure washed, everything. I like to do it in the spring, get everything put away from the winter time, clean them out real good in the winter time, and then I do it, like I said, in the springtime. Then I do kind of in the middle July, sometimes the end of August or the end of July. The next time it'll get done will be in October, and that will be it. I won't do the dog. His hadn't been done for a while, but I won't do the dog. But the rabbits and the chickens and the goats will all get done on sometime in the middle of October before winter sets in. Because when I do it in October, I will layer up in the chicken uh, coop. It can still be pretty warm in October, so I kind of do it towards the end of October after fair season's over. I try to do it at that point um, because that way I I put layers, and especially in the chicken coop, I put up I got an insulation I need to put up in there. Um, so I got to do all that in the end of October. The rabbits usually don't get much straw. I might do it this year, but we'll just have to wait and see how cold it gets on them. They can handle cold. They don't have a problem with cold. It's chickens that don't like the cold too well, just like they don't like heat too well. Now, my wife will disagree with the chickens, but happy chickens lay eggs, okay? So we like to have at least some kind of production going on even during the winter time. So that's the reason why I try to keep the chickens happy. Because an unhappy chicken is not a good layer. Next spring we will be bringing on new chicks because it'll be about time to cycle out the old chicks and bring in a new batch of chicks. Um, so it'll be almost about time to dispatch them and have some chicken. Chicken. That's right. They lay eggs. They um, are very beautiful animals. They understand a lot. They're very smart animals, actually. Um, if I say girly girl, they know exactly who I am. They know my voice. They come running. Just like the rabbits and the goats, and the dogs, they all know me because they know that I'm the one that makes sure they're taken good care of. So yesterday I did all that, and it took all day yesterday doing that midsummer clean out. So got all that done yesterday, and then today I got on my list here to um, somewhere on here I put that on here. Let's see, where's it at? Oh, right here. Check on the inner tubes if they can be repaired. I'm going to cross that out since that's already in progress. Something else I'm going to do today is I'm going to move the flagpole in the back by the gazebo. That way people can fish off of that better. That'll be done today. And then I will start to finish sanding the rest of the birdhouse. That probably will be get done on Thursday. We'll just have to see how much I get done today. The inner tubes shouldn't take much longer. Once I get a better solution, I have a sponge I think I'm going to use on that inner tubes and get a bigger bucket of water because a little container ain't going to do the job. So I will get a bucket of water and try to get that. I have a total of 3 inner tubes, and like I said, I don't know. They're just old and they're leaking around the bow. I mean, that can happen. I mean, like I said, who knows how old they are, So I'm going to see if they can be repaired. If not, they get thrown away. Simple as that. Also, I got it on here because today's Wednesday trash day. I took out the trash to the curb, and I will be putting some bleach and pine sol in that trash can because it stinks. It's got a stink to it. That's right. I clean out the trash can because it's in here in the barn, which attracts, flies and all the fun stuff we don't want in the barn. Then Thursday, as we start trending up onto the heat wave, I was going to mow Friday, but I don't know if I need to mow this week. Because I was looking out the back this morning from the kitchen area, and well, there's still lines where I mowed last week. Now I mowed on, What day did I mow on? Saturday we had. Okay, so it was Friday I mowed. Yeah, or was it? Yeah, it was Friday. I did think there for a minute. I'm like, what day did I mow? I took the trimmer over on Monday. Got it over to the shop. They're putting a conversion kit on there. Um, I took the head over there and thought they could just snap that one on, but I guess because they knew right away it was to a curved shaft. I'm like, I don't know how they could tell it's a curved shaft one, but hey, they're the experts. I'm not. So they're also going to probably end up doing a tune-up on the trimmer. It hasn't been done, so I don't have a problem with that. Basically, I told them, I said, it's got some kind of vibration in it. It really needs to be looked at. I haven't heard a word about it yet, so either today or tomorrow I'll probably hear something back, because they had to order the head. So whenever they got the head in, they would probably put that on and then check the vibration. So, and then I'll have the conversion kit as well. That way I can put a blade on it. Finally, a blade. I'm excited about that part because it means that I can cut a lot of brush at a lot faster rate and not use so much product, meaning that, you know, trimming wire is not expensive, but when you're doing a side of a hill, yeah, it can be pretty expensive, such when you have a lot of brush because you're using more of that. But yeah, I told them, I said, I cannot stand this head. And they said, most people can't. Everyone always hates this one. I'm like, yeah, well, you sold it to me. Whatever. It is what it is, you know, it costs to have anything done. So I don't know if I'm going to mow this week. It really doesn't look like I need to mow this week. So if I don't have to mow this week, if not, then hey, I got other things on here that I can do, like power wash the house. I got to start cutting up the wood by the cottage. Not going to get done this week. And the reason is because today is going to be 89, or no, it's going to be 88 today. Then it goes to 80 or 90 tomorrow, and then the rest of the weekend we're going to be back up to 93 degrees, and humidity in Ohio will be coming back. So yay! I could have done the clean out this later this week and did the wood earlier part of this week, but it still is very hot. So because we still have our humidity it's slowly climbing back. So the wood will get done. It will probably be later towards September, to be honest with you. Oh, let's see what else. I got to bring up the tin for future gutters. Like to power wash the house. That could be something done on Friday. I got a bush over here that you probably have seen in videos. You probably actually saw this morning with looking out. There's a big, huge pine bush that grew. Probably when it was planted, it was a small little bird, and because it's not a tree, it's a bush, and it just growed because no one took care of it. So yeah, that's going to be a project I'm going to have to do. Got to go down there and cut limbs off of it. Once I get the shape going, then I can trim it on the top, and yeah, it's going to be a project. Got to do trail maintenance, which I have down today, or before I mow. I'll probably do that tomorrow morning. But yeah, this is the reason why I make lists up, because this is the most important way to keep me in line, keeps me knowing what needs to be done still. And there's always stuff in between that I don't put on the list. Like last night, working outside all day yesterday. I came in assuming that my wife had done the morning dishes before she went to work and put away the night before dinner dishes. That is sort of her job duty, which I assumed she would do, and I had to go in and basically do a bunch of dishes from the breakfast, and then I put away all the dinner dishes from the night before, and then we got my sister-in-law's two dogs here. They are the most. They're cute. They're one's a Shih Tzu and the other one is like a mix between a Shih Tzu and something else. These dogs can have a big mat. They're inside dogs. They use the mat. Well, I should say for about 50 about we'll just say between a 50% chance. Okay, so 25% chance they're going to hit the pad. The other 25% usually they miss the pad. So I have to clean the floors, mop the floors, so there's always stuff that I'm doing that isn't on this list. There's stuff that needs to be done, like cooking dinner. And I don't have a problem doing that stuff. It's a routine that I've got myself into. I might be out here till 7 o'clock in the evening, especially in the summertime, which is going to make it really hard because Carmen's going back to school. And that means that until the daylight starts fading, towards 7 o'clock, I like to work outside, as long as I can. Makes my day a lot longer. As the days get shorter, that means that, then I can go inside at a decent time. So I have to get my brain working that, okay, I gotta quit at 5:30, no matter what. I gotta quit at 5:30 because she's gonna be on her school schedule. This way she can eat dinner at a decent time, except for Fridays. So Fridays I can work until whatever. We usually do pizza or something like that, and she don't have school the next day. So that's something I got to get myself into because on the 20th she goes back to school. It's her first day of school, and then the 14th of this month she goes to her first open house, and that's at 4:30. So yeah, there's when the school schedule happens, that's really throws a ringer in. The nice thing though about her going back to school, I don't have to stop for lunch, unless the wife's here or something like that, because that way I don't have to stop and make sure she gets her lunch, and because you don't feed Carmen her lunch, she gets hungry, whatever you want to call it. So I have to make sure that she gets her lunch in, so I have to stop, and that takes about an hour to get everything done, prepped up, and done for lunch, cleaned up, and yesterday it was a simple lunch. She had a corn dog and I had fish sticks, and so it was an easy dinner or easy lunch, but it still took time out of my schedule, what I do is during the day when Carmen's in school is I piece, meaning that I'll eat something small for breakfast so I can take my meds, and then I eat a little bit in lunchtime. Like I might pack if I know I'm going to be outside the day, I'll pack my own lunch, bring it out here and put it in the cooler or in the refrigerator, and I can grab it and put it on the tractor and go and eat my lunch as I work. With her, I had to stop and talk to her and get her lunch ready, and by that time I'm taking about an hour, anywhere from an hour and a half lunch break, which is not a problem. I love doing it. It just cuts into that work schedule. So the nice part about her being in school is that I can do a sack lunch and take it on the tractor or whatever I'm doing. I can take it with me out to, let's just say, hypothetically, I'm going out to cut down a tree out back or something. Well, I got a cooler over here. I can throw in some ice packs that I have and throw my lunch in there and take it out there. I don't have to stop. I don't, I stop long enough to eat a sandwich or like if I'm refueling the chainsaw. I can easily just get in that lunch cooler there and pull out my sandwich and eat it after I get done refueling. At the most, we're talking 10 minutes, 15 minutes top. And then back to work I go, you know. So there's a difference between 15 minutes and an hour and a half lunch. Which, like I said, it's not a big deal. I love doing it. It's just that it makes it nicer. But when you have a school schedule, the evenings get cut really fast. Because, like I said, I got to stop no later than, if I got to put away tractors or anything like that, I need to stop by 5 o'clock at the latest. That way, it gives me a half hour. And by 5:30, I've got everything shut up, shut down, put away, and I'm in the house. And that way I can give her a shower, get her ready for her dinner, and we eat dinner together, and then she goes off to bed. Because of her disability, she has to go to bed a little earlier because if not, she's a real bear the next day. So that's pretty much it for this midweek. Like I said, I've just got my list here to do, and like I said, I'm checking on them inner tubes, see if they can be repaired. I got a little marker or a crayon marker thing. I'll mark where the hole's at, and what I'll do is I'll get the patches out and start working on patching them openings or holes. Like I said when I thought I saw a leak. I'm starting to wonder if the seams where they put the two pieces of plastic together is leaking, because like I said, I have that one and another one exactly the same, and they both went down the same time, so they both lost air at the same time. So I think they're just about shot. The other one is my Carmen's big unicorn. Carmen has a habit with her disability. She has a habit of chewing, and I think she chewed maybe the horn, I don't know, on the unicorn, because I'm the one who put it in the pool that day, and I'm the one who got it out of the pool and hung it up, and by that evening, poor unicorn looked like it was dying, and I'm like, why is the unicorn leaking on air? So by the time the next day came around, the unicorn was totally deflated. So there's no other reason why there should be a hole in that unicorn. I'm the one who brought it down. I'm the one who put it in the water. She was floating fine. Get it out of the pool. There's no sharp edges on the pool. We don't have metal railing across the top. So technically, a unicorn should be still out there hanging or being played with. But Carmen has chewed already one inner tube before, and that inner tube couldn't be repaired. So I'm hoping that is not the case this time, because it's the first season, and it's big, but it's nice for her to have something that she got for her birthday. But yeah, so I'll be checking on them and find out why they're leaking. Like I said, the two black ones, I totally can see that probably around the seams might have just be letting go. They're just old, and I'm not gonna repair them if they're leaking around the seams. But that's it. God didn't make us little islands to set apart to ourselves. He made us to be reciprocal relationships, to live with, lean on, and love one another as we go through this crazy thing we call life. I thought it was a nice little quote to read to you. So love one another, share with each other. And I understand that, and I'm guilty as much as the next person. Um, Sometimes I'm not the one who is the most, I don't know. But you get what I'm saying. We're not to be set aside. We're not little islands. Even though sometimes I make this my farm life, my little island. I don't like to leave. My wife will be the first one to tell you. The only time I leave is to go get fuel for the tractors, or take the trimmer to the trim shop. Sometimes I make this my little island that I can't leave. It's like a little, I don't know. I guess because I just don't, the road out there is just all crazy. So, what can I say? Well, as we say around here on the farm, peace, love, and joy comes from knowing our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I hope you're all having a blessed week so far. Tomorrow is Friday Eve. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Can you believe this week's almost over? It's first week of August in the books. Whew, it's going quick. Like I said, next week she goes back to her open house, and then the following week back to school, and then the next week is heading into Labor Day weekend. I feel like we just celebrated Memorial Day weekend. Here we are talking about Labor Day weekend coming up so quick. Winter will be here soon. Fall will be here. That's one of my favorite seasons. But time is just going so fast, isn't it? To me, it is. There's some days it feels like, man, is it 9 o'clock in the evening already? Or when is it going to be 9 o'clock? There's some days it just goes snail slow. And then the other days it's just roller coaster. It's so fast. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I hope you all have a blessed week, and may God bless each one of you, and I will see you on the next video. Love y'all.
I wake up every morning, see the sunrise on the land. Fields of gold and rolling hills, built by God's own hand. There's a Bible on my table, and a flag out by the gate. In this land of faith and freedom, we stand up proud and pray. This is Jesus' country, where the eagle flies high.